you're obviously leaders, or you wouldn't be sitting in this room, and so good for you for that. You've made good choices. You've put yourself in a position to be successful, and you're in this spot that you're in now. And consider it deeply, because you start right now. The choices you make, the way you live, the things you go after will change your life forever, and I can tell you that for sure. My own path was, I went to Franklin High School, public high school. Went to, as a kid, I grew up on a farm, very engaged in 4-H and livestock showing and all things ag. But my dad was an engineer, and so I was interested in that too. So, like for example, at 4-H, I did electrical project, which took me to National 4-H Congress. So I also showed calves and livestock all my years up until I got out of high school. That work led me to an interest in being an engineer. Went off to college, got an engineering degree, came back, got involved in my family business, and started my adult life. I will say that first part, your choices about what you do, what you learn, how you choose your career path, they're really important. But there's what I hope for in my time as governor is to create multiple career paths for people. People who want to go directly to work from high school. That's why we did something called Give Act. It's vocational technical education. People who want to go to 2-year school, to TCATs or community colleges, get an associate degree or a 4-year degree, or post 4-year degree, get your master's or your doctorate. Or what we want is you to figure out what you want to do, that you have a real passion and interest in, to be successful in your life. And it's not about just making money, being successful, but being prosperous and successful in your life. That's what I hope to give you opportunity. But the way you go after those things, the way you pursue your education, the way you pick your path and then go for it and pursue it with all the giftings that God has put in you to take them. People ask me how things about leadership, how I got involved, and when is it that you started considering leadership? Here's my view of leadership. I actually think the most powerful form of leadership is servant leadership. Leadership is not being the sharpest guy in the room or being the best speaker or being the best. I really believe a leader is one who has the most impact on the people that they're around. And sometimes the most impactful thing you can do in a person's life is serve them. I was reading a story yesterday about I think it was in Tennessee, some kid that was bullied in school because it was in Memphis. He wore the same clothes to school every day. Y'all read that story, and the kids made fun of him, and some football players that were in that school saw people making fun of this kid who was so poor he had to wear the same clothes every day. And these guys bought him a bunch of clothes and did something really nice for him, and it was really a cool story that kind of went viral. That was leadership. It was serving somebody. It was impacting somebody's life around them. The little kid that had been bullied said they were the best guys he'd ever met in his whole life. And they weren't like him. They were football players, and he was, in a whole different crowd. As I think about leadership, being impactful to the people that are around you is the most powerful form, and it develops within you leadership qualities that will carry on with you in life. So when I think about what caused me to start being a leader, I think it was probably things I did in youth group or mission trips that we took when I was a little kid, or things we did in school that were service projects. Started generating in me this sense that if you do, there are certain things you can do in life that have a positive impact on people around you. And then they actually they're inspired by you and what you've done, and then they start following you. I don't mean following you like literally, but they start copying what you're doing because they saw what it did to them, and they want to do that to other people, and there's this thing that happens.